I was born to wealth, the bishop's family, a name that commanded power, respect, and fear. We lived in a mansion that stretched across the horizon, surrounded by oil fields as far as the eye could see. My childhood was one of luxury, filled with the finest things a boy could want. But as I grew older, I began to see the truth that lingered beneath the velvet and gold. Our fortune was built on the suffering of others. My father, like his father before him, was an oil baron. The bishop's name dated back to the Civil War, when we stood with the Union, waving the flag of freedom and justice. But it was a lie. We fought for profit, not principle. My ancestors owned slaves, even as they claimed to stand against tyranny. That hypocrisy ran deep in our blood, and by the time I was born, it had turned into something even darker. My father took what he wanted: land, power, people's lives, through fear and force. I watched as local farmers and small families were pushed off their land, coerced by our wealth and influence. Oil was thicker than blood to him. He didn't care about the families he ruined or the communities he broke apart. It was all for wealth, for control. And I was too blind to see it then, too comfortable in my privilege. Then came the war, the First World War, a storm of steel and blood. I left to fight for a cause I barely understood, thinking perhaps I could escape the shadow of my father, that maybe I could earn something on my own, away from the poisoned name of bishops. But while I was in the trenches, my wife, my beloved Eleanor, was left behind. She was everything to me. And while I was away, she fell ill, lost in the horrors of her own mind. My father, my family, sent her to an asylum without so much as a word to me. They treated her like an inconvenience, something to be locked away, forgotten, and she died there alone. I returned from the war to find her gone, and my family indifferent, their hands stained with both oil and her blood. That was the moment I knew, the moment I turned my back on them, on everything they stood for. I left the bishop's legacy behind, walked away from the empire they had built on lies and cruelty. I live with that guilt, with the weight of my name, but I will never wear it again.